Welcome to What If Sleepstorian, where history blurs with myth and every whisper hides a secret. Here, legends breathe, shadows stir, and forgotten echoes return beneath candlelit skies. Each story is a key to another world, of haunted alleys, ancient curses, and quiet bravery. So close your eyes, leave the waking world behind, and drift with us into a tale that begins just a little darker than the last. London, 1895. The city suffocates under a yellow fog, thick as treacle, curling through alleys and choking the breath. Gas lamps along the Strand flicker, their flames frail, casting jagged shadows on cobblestones slick with rain and grime. The air bites, heavy with coal smoke, the sour rot of the Thames, and a faint metallic tang of dread. Hansom cabs rattle by, wheels grinding through puddles, drivers hunched under dripping cloaks, faces obscured. Street vendors hawk wilted violets and roasted chestnuts, their voices roar, slicing through the muffled quiet. This is no city of glittering salons or polished carriages. It's a maze of survival. Children scavenge in gutters, hands raw, faces hollow. Women dart through shadows, shawls threadbare, eyes wary. Men slump in tavern doorways, reeking of gin and despair. The fog hides secrets, and tonight it murmurs a name, Moriarty. Hercule Poirot alights from a hansom cab, his polished boots sinking into the muck of the Strand. His moustache, meticulously waxed, twitches as the fog's damp fingers graze his face. The air tastes acrid, coating his throat, smelling of ash and wet wool. His grey eyes, sharp as a blade, scan the street. A newsboy shouting of a Whitechapel murder, a flower girl's trembling hands, a cab horse snorting steam. Mon Dieu, he thinks, this city is a puzzle, but every puzzle yields to the little grey cells. He adjusts his overcoat, heavy with damp, and grips his silver-topped cane, its weight steadying. Poirot hunts James Moriarty, the Napoleon of crime, whose schemes thread through London's slums to Europe's capitals. An anonymous letter, inked in precise script, brought him here, a warning of a plot to fracture the city's heart. His mind hums, sorting clues. A stolen bank ledger, a diplomat's murder in Limehouse, whispers of a professor in opium dens. The fog presses closer, cold, alive, hiding eyes that watch. From above, London's pulse quickens. In Limehouse, opium lamps glow, their smoke curling like spectres. In Whitechapel, knives gleam, blood pooling on stone. In Mayfair, gloved hands trade secrets in chandelier-lit salons. Moriarty's shadow stretches, his mind a chessboard, moving pawns, thieves, assassins, traitors, with surgical precision. Tonight his plan coils tighter. A heist at the Bank of England, a cipher to cripple trade, a murder to sow chaos. The city's people, unaware, lock their doors, whisper prayers, fear the fog's embrace. His seamstress, Lily Wren, hurries through Covent Garden, her shawl torn, hands trembling from needlework, clutching a coded note she doesn't understand. Symbols, numbers, a word, Regent. Found in her employer's coat, a banker now dead, throat slashed in an alley. Her breath clouds, her heart hammers, she senses eyes in the mist. Poirot pauses at a coffee stall, its steam cutting the chill. The scent of burnt tea leaves sharp in the air. The vendor, hands scarred from dockwork, pours with a clink of tin, his eyes dull, resigned. Poirot sips, the tea bitter, warming his throat, his gaze catching a figure across the street. Tall, broad, cloaked, leaning against a gas lamp, a pipe's ember flaring like a signal. The man's presence is heavy, his stare deliberate. Not Moriarty, Poirot thinks, but no common idler. His cane taps the ground, steady as he crosses, the fog parting like a stage curtain, the cobblestones slick underfoot. Poirot. Monsieur. You watch Hercule Poirot with the eye of one who knows more than he reveals. I do not care for such scrutiny unless I invite it. The man exhales, pipe smoke curling, blending with the fog. His voice is low, resonant, carrying the weight of Whitehall's corridors, his eyes sharp, calculating. Mycroft. Mr. Poirot, I am Mycroft Holmes. Your reputation precedes you. London is a perilous game tonight, and you chase a player who outwits most. Poirot's moustache twitches, a flicker of surprise. Mycroft Holmes, Sherlock's brother, the man who holds the Empire's unseen reins, his mind a vault of secrets. The fog seems to hum, the air colder, sharper, smelling of ink and steel. No chance encounter, Poirot thinks, his grey cells racing. Mycroft knows Moriarty, knows why Poirot hunts. The tea stall fades, the vendor's clink of coins drowned by the city's pulse. Hooves, shouts, a distant scream from an alley. Poirot's hand tightens on his cane, his voice calm, measured. Poirot, Monsieur Holmes, if you know of Moriarty, you know my purpose. A letter speaks of a plot, and the little grey cells demand clarity. Will you share what you conceal? Mycroft's eyes narrow, his pipe glowing faintly. He sees Poirot's mind, methodical, relentless, a match for Sherlock's. He knows the stakes. Moriarty's heist, a cipher in a stolen ledger, a murder planned at midnight. Trust is rare, but Poirot's reputation is a beacon. The fog cloaks them, London's secrets alive in its shadows, the air heavy with damp and coal dust. Mycroft. Moriarty is a spider, Poirot. His web spans the bank, the docks, the Foreign Office. I track him from my club, but you're in his game now. Meet me at the Diogenes Club at dawn. Bring proof, or he slips away. Mycroft steps back, his form dissolving into the fog, his footsteps silent, deliberate. Poirot stands alone, the tea's warmth fading, the air pressing against his skin, smelling of mud and metal. A spider's web, he muses, but every web has a thread to sever. He turns toward Covent Garden, guided by the letter's clue, a theatre where the coded note was found. The fog is a beast, hiding eyes, but Poirot's mind is sharper, his cane tapping a steady rhythm, cutting through the dark. Lily Wren hurries through Covent Garden's alleys, her boots slipping on vegetable scraps, her breath quick, clouding in the cold. The air reeks of rotting cabbage, spilled ale and fear, a sour knot in her chest. Her shawl, thin as gossamer, clings damp to her shoulders, her hands, rough from sewing, trembling as she grips the coded note, its paper creased, ink smudged. She doesn't understand its symbols, numbers, lines, regent, but knows its weight. Her employer, the banker, left it in his coat. Now he's dead, throat cut in Limehouse. They're watching, she thinks, her heart pounding, her eyes darting to shadows that shift. A scream pierces the fog, sharp, then silenced, from a nearby street. This is no city of flower girls or music halls. It's a place of knives, where survival is a gamble, where the fog hides blades. Poirot nears the Lyceum Theatre, its silhouette looming, walls blackened by soot, its faded grandeur leaking whispers of rehearsals and secrets. The letter pointed here, a note in a theatre box tied to Moriarty's cipher. His grey eyes spot Lily at the stage door, her face pale, her hand shaking, her shawl no match for the chill. She carries something, he thinks, his cane steady, his mind alight. The fog swirls, cold, damp, smelling of mould and menace, as he steps closer, his voice soft, precise, cutting through the night. Poirot. Mademoiselle, you stand at a door that hides danger. Hercule Poirot sees the fear in your eyes. What do you hold that makes you tremble so? Lily startles, her hand clutching the note, her breath a white plume. The air smells of wet wood and her own fear sharp in her nose. She sees Poirot, small, neat, his eyes piercing, not like the rough men who stalk alleys. He's different, she thinks, her heart racing. but trust is a trap in this city. The fog presses, muffling a distant shout, a bottle shattering. Her voice trembles, but she speaks, drawn by his calm. Lily. Sir, I don't know you. I've a note. Found it in my master's coat. He's dead now, and I'm scared they'll come for me next. Poirot's eyes gleam, his mind locking onto her words. The note, he thinks, a piece of Moriarty's puzzle. The fog thickens, the theatre's shadow looming, as London's secrets tighten around them, ready to unravel or destroy. The Lyceum Theatre looms through the fog, its blackened walls glistening with damp, its arched windows dark, reflecting only the faint glow of gas lamps. The air in Covent Garden is thick, heavy with the stench of rotting fruit, spilled gin, and the acrid bite of coal smoke drifting from distant chimneys. The cobblestones, slick with rain and filth, echo with the clatter of a passing cart, its driver a shadow hunched against the cold. Somewhere, a violin wails from a tavern, its notes thin, mournful, swallowed by the mist. The city is a beast, its pulse uneven, shouts, footsteps, a woman's sob cut short in an alley. This is London's underbelly, where dreams are sold for a shilling and lives for less. The fog curls tighter, hiding eyes, carrying whispers of treachery. Hercule Poirot stands before Lily Wren at the Lyceum stage door, his grey eyes piercing, his moustache a perfect curve despite the damp. The air tastes sour, coating his throat, smelling of mould and menace. His silver-topped cane rests lightly in his hand, its tap a steady rhythm against the chaos. Lily, pale as moonlight, clutches her shawl, her hands rough from needlework, her breath quick, clouding in the chill. The coded note in her pocket, a scrap of paper with symbols, numbers, and the word Regent, feels like a lead weight. Her employer, a banker, lies dead in Limehouse, his throat slashed, and she fears the note is why. Poirot's voice, soft but firm, cuts through her panic like a blade through silk. Poirot. Mademoiselle Wren, you hold a key to a dangerous game. Hercule Poirot sees the truth in your eyes. Fear, yes, but also courage. Show me this note, and we shall unravel its secrets together. Lily hesitates, her fingers trembling, the paper creased and damp in her grip. The fog presses close, cold, smelling of river mud and fear. She glances at the alley, shadows shifting, a glint of something, metal, in the mist. He's not like them, she thinks, her heart pounding. Poirot's calm a lifeline in this city of knives. She pulls the note from her pocket, its ink smudged but legible, and hands it over, her voice barely a whisper. Lily. I found it in Mr. Carver's coat, sir. He was kind, paid me fair. Now he's gone, and I don't know what it means, but they'll kill me for it. I know they will. Poirot's eyes scan the note. Symbols like spider legs, numbers in a grid, Regent scrawled at the bottom. His mind, the little grey cells, hums, piecing together fragments. The banker's murder, the stolen ledger, Mycroft's warning of Moriarty's web. A cipher, he thinks, but for what purpose? The fog swirls, muffling a distant shout, a horse's whinny. The theatre's door creaks, leaking the scent of dust, grease paint and old wood, hinting at secrets within. Poirot tucks the note into his coat, his gaze steady on Lily. Poirot. Mademoiselle, you are under Hercule Poirot's protection. Stay close, and we shall find the truth. This theatre, it holds answers. Come. From the omniscient mist, London's secrets deepen. Moriarty's plan unfolds. A heist at the Bank of England, timed for midnight, using a cipher to unlock vaults, a murder to silence a witness, a forged document to destabilise trade. His agents move, dockworkers, clerks, a traitor in Whitehall, each a thread in his web. In Limehouse, an opium den hums, its patrons lost in smoke, unaware of deals struck in shadows. In Whitechapel, a knife is cleaned, blood rinsed into a gutter. In Mayfair, a diplomat sips brandy, unaware his secrets are sold. The city's people, weary, hungry, lock their doors, their hands rough from labour, their hearts heavy with dread. Lily's note, a piece of Moriarty's cipher, is a spark that could ignite chaos or burn his web to ash. Inside the Lyceum, the air is stale, heavy with the scent of wax, velvet and secrets. The stage is dark, props scattered, a wooden throne, a painted backdrop of a forest, frayed ropes dangling. Poirot leads Lily through the backstage, his boots soft on the creaking boards, her footsteps hesitant, her shawl damp, clinging. The fog seeps through cracks, curling like fingers, the theatre a maze of shadows and echoes, whispers of actors, a clatter of props, a faint sob from above. Poirot's cane taps lightly, his eyes scanning. A trapdoor, a velvet curtain, a glint of glass in the wings. The note was found in a box, he recalls, but why here? His mind sorts. The banker frequented the Lyceum, met someone in secret, left the note behind. Moriarty's shadow looms, his presence a chill in the air. Lily's breath catches as a shadow moves, a stagehand or something else. Her hands, raw from sewing, grip her shawl, the air cold, smelling of dust and fear. She follows Poirot, his calm anchoring her, but the theatre feels alive, watching. I shouldn't be here, she thinks, her heart racing, the note's weight gone, but its danger lingering. A creak above, a rustle of fabric makes her flinch. Poirot pauses, his head tilting, his eyes narrowing at a staircase leading to the boxes. Poirot. Mademoiselle. Courage. The little grey cells sense a trail. The box where this note was found. It is our next step. They climb the narrow stairs, the wood groaning, the air growing colder, sharper, smelling of old perfume and wax. The box overlooks the dark stage, its velvet chairs dusty, a programme crumpled on the floor, Faust, its title bold, fitting. Poirot kneels, his gloved hands searching, finding scratches on the wood, a hidden panel under a seat. Inside, a scrap of paper, another cipher fragment, symbols matching Lily's note, with a new word, vault. His mind races. The Bank of England, a vault, Moriarty's target. The fog outside presses against the windows, the city's pulse faint. Hooves, shouts, a bell tolling. Lily watches, her hands trembling, her voice a whisper. Lily. Sir? What does it mean? Is it why Mr. Carver died? Poirot. Oui, mademoiselle. This is Moriarty's hand, a plan to rob the heart of London. But Hercule Poirot will not let him win. The theatre hums, its shadows alive. From above, Moriarty's web tightens. His agent, a man named Silas Crowe, watches from the rafters, his knife glinting, his orders clear. Retrieve the note, silence the girl. Crowe, a former soldier turned thief, moves silently, his boots soft on the beams, his breath steady, smelling the theatre's dust and his own sweat. He knows Poirot's reputation, fears it, but Moriarty's wrath is worse. The city outside churns, vendors, close stalls, children scavenge. A woman screams in an alley, her voice cut short. Crowe's hand tightens on his knife, his eyes on Lily, unaware below. Poirot senses a shift, a prickle on his neck. His grey cells hum, his eyes darting to the rafters, catching a glint. Danger, he thinks, his cane ready, his voice low, urgent. Poirot. Mademoiselle, step behind me. We are not alone. Lily gasps, her shawl slipping, her hands cold, trembling. The air smells of dust, wax, and something sharper. Steel, sweat. She presses against the wall, her heart hammering, the fog outside muffling the city's cries. Poirot's eyes lock on the rafters, his mind calculating. An assassin, Moriarty's pawn. The theatre's shadows deepen, the air heavy as Crowe descends, silent, his knife a promise of death. From the omniscient fog, London's stakes rise. Mycroft Holmes in the Diogenes Club pores over maps, ledgers, his pipe smoke curling, his mind tracing Moriarty's moves. He knows the heist's hour, midnight, when the bank's guards change. He He knows the cipher's key lies in fragments, like Lily's note. He trusts Poirot, but only so far. The Empire's safety rests on no one's shoulders but his own. The city's people, unaware, huddle in tenements, their hands calloused, their dreams small, their fears vast. A dockworker in Limehouse pockets a bribe, a clerk in Whitehall hides a letter, a prostitute in Whitechapel sees too much, her life a candle burning low. Poirot moves, swift, his cane striking Crow's wrist as he lunges, the knife clattering to the floor. Lily screams, the sound sharp, echoing in the theatre. Crow curses, his face scarred, his eyes wild, smelling of gin and desperation. He swings a fist, but Poirot dodges, his small frame agile, his mind sharper than the blade. The struggle is brief. Poirot's cane cracks against Crow's knee, sending him sprawling, groaning, the air thick with dust and fear. Poirot, Monsieur, you're clumsy for an assassin. Tell Hercule Poirot who sent you, or the police will ask less politely. Crow spits, his breath ragged, but says nothing, his loyalty to Moriarty ironclad. Lily trembles, her hands clutching the wall, the cipher's weight a chain around her. Poirot binds Crow's wrists with a cord from the curtains, his eyes scanning the theatre, sensing more eyes in the dark. The fog outside presses, the city's pulse quickening. Hooves, shouts, a bell tolling midnight soon. Poirot turns to Lily, his voice calm, resolute. Poirot, Mademoiselle, we must move. The Diogenes Club awaits. Mycroft Holmes will want this cipher. Moriarty's game is afoot, but Hercule Poirot plays to win. They slip from the theatre, the fog swallowing them, the air cold, sharp with coal and danger, as London's shadows close in, hiding the next move in Moriarty's deadly chessboard. The fog of London clings like a second skin as Hercule Poirot and Lily Wren slip from the Lyceum Theatre's shadowed embrace, the city's pulse throbbing in the distance, hooves clattering, a drunkard's shout, the low toll of a church bell inching toward midnight. The air is heavy, sharp with the bite of coal dust, wet straw, and the sour tang of the Thames, its waters gurgling nearby, thick with refuse. Cobblestones gleam underfoot, slick with rain and muck, reflecting the faint glow of gas lamps that flicker like dying stars. Poirot's boots, polished to a sheen, click softly, his silver-topped cane a steady tap guiding Lily through the mist. She clutches her shawl, threadbare and damp, her hands raw from sewing, her breath quick, clouding in the cold. The coded note and its fragment tucked in Poirot's coat burn with significance. Symbols, numbers, regent, vault, pieces of Moriarty's plan to crack the Bank of England. The assassin, Silas Crow, lies bound in the theatre, but Poirot's grey cells hum. More eyes watch. The spider's web tightens. Lily's heart hammers, her eyes darting to every shadow, expecting a blade. The air smells of rot and fear, her own sweat sharp in her nose. He's safe, she thinks of Poirot, his small frame a fortress, his eyes piercing the fog like lanterns. But London is no place for trust. Alleys hide thieves, doorways shelter spies, and the fog cloaks killers. She grips the cipher's weight in her mind, her employer's bloodied face flashing. Mr. Carver, throat slashed in Limehouse. I'm next, she fears, her boots slipping on the stones, her voice a whisper as they hurry toward Pall Mall, the Diogenes Club's promise of answers a distant hope. Poirot. Mademoiselle Wren, keep pace. The Diogenes Club is near and Monsieur Holmes awaits. The little grey cells sense danger, but also truth. Courage, now. Lily nods, her breath shallow, the fog pressing against her skin. Cold, damp, smelling of river mud and menace. The city's sounds fade. Hooves soften, shouts dull, as they move from Covent Garden's chaos to Pall Mall's eerie quiet. The street is grander, its buildings tall, stone facades looming, but the fog strips their elegance, leaving only shadows and silence. Gas lamps sputter, their light swallowed, casting pools of yellow that barely touch the ground. A carriage rolls past, its wheels muffled, curtains drawn, hiding faces. Poirot's cane taps, his eyes scanning. A newsboy shivering in a doorway, a woman's silhouette vanishing into an alley, a glint of metal under a cloak. Moriarty's pawns, he thinks, his mind sorting. The cipher, the bank, the midnight deadline Mycroft hinted at. The air tastes bitter, like ash and steel coating his moustache. From the omniscient haze London's underbelly stirs. Moriarty, in a hidden room above a Limehouse opium den, traces a map of the Bank of England, his fingers thin, precise, his eyes cold as slate. His plan is a symphony. The cipher unlocks a vault, the heist cripples trade, a murder sparks panic. His agents move, a dock worker slips a key to a guard, a clerk forges a letter, a prostitute in Whitechapel hides a blade, her hands trembling, her life a pawn. The city's people, unaware, huddle in tenements, their hands calloused from labour, their dreams small, their fears vast. Lily's note, now with Poirot, is a thread Moriarty cannot afford to lose. He knows of Poirot, respects his mind, fears it. His orders are sharp: retrieve the cipher, eliminate witnesses. The fog is his ally, hiding his web, but Poirot is a blade, cutting through. Poirot and Lily reach Pall Mall. The Diogenes Club's facade a grey ghost in the mist, its windows dark, its silence absolute. The air here is colder, sharper, smelling of wax and old books, a stark contrast to Covent Garden's rot. The club's doors, heavy oak, loom shut, a brass knocker glinting faintly. Poirot pauses, his grey cells humming. Mycroft waits, but danger follows. He glances at Lily, her face pale, her shawl slipping, her hands trembling. She is no mere seamstress, he thinks. She holds a key unwitting. He knocks, the sound sharp, echoing, the fog muffling the city's pulse. A distant scream, a horse's snort, a bell tolling closer to midnight. The door opens, a porter's face stern, his eyes narrowing at Lily's ragged shawl, her muddy boots. Poirot's presence, neat and commanding, silences protest. They step inside, the air warm, heavy with the scent of leather, tobacco and polished wood. The Diogenes Club is a crypt of silence, its halls dim, gaslights low, portraits staring from walls. Footsteps are forbidden here, voices banned, but Poirot's cane taps softly, a defiance. Lily follows, her breath shallow, the grandeur overwhelming. Marble floors, velvet curtains, the smell of wealth she's never known. This ain't my place, she thinks, her heart racing, the note's danger a shadow on her back. They reach a private room, its door ajar, firelight flickering within. Mycroft Holmes sits by a hearth, his broad frame filling a leather chair, his pipe smoke curling like the fog outside. His eyes, sharp as a hawk's, lock on Poirot, then Lily, assessing, calculating. The air smells of burning logs, ink and secrets. The room a vault of whispers. Mycroft's voice, low, resonant, carries the weight of the Empire. Mycroft. Mr. Poirot, you're punctual, despite the fog, and this is the girl with the note. Show me what you found, or we waste time Moriarty doesn't grant. Poirot produces the note and its fragment, their symbols stark against the paper, Regent and Vault scrawled in precise ink. Mycroft's eyes narrow, his mind racing. The bank's vault, the cipher's key, the midnight deadline. He knows Moriarty's plan. Steal gold, forge documents, murder a witness to spark chaos. The note is a piece, but not the whole. He trusts Poirot's mind, but not his methods. The Empire's safety is his burden. The fire cracks, its heat sharp, the air heavy with tension. Poirot, Monsieur Holmes, this cipher points to the Bank of England, a vault, a heist. Hercule Poirot sees the threads, but the spider eludes. What do you know that you do not share? Mycroft exhales, smoke curling, his voice measured, cold. Mycroft. The bank's vault holds gold, yes, but also documents, trade agreements, secrets that could topple markets. Moriarty's cipher unlocks both. The heist is tonight, midnight, when guards are few. You have the note, but his agents are everywhere. Docks, Whitehall, even here. Lily stiffens, her hands trembling, the air smelling of ash and fear. Here, she thinks, her eyes darting to the door, expecting shadows. The city outside hums. Hooves, shouts, a bell tolling closer to midnight. She's a pawn in a game she doesn't understand, her life tied to a note she found by chance. Poirot's eyes gleam, his mind sorting. The vault, the cipher, Moriarty's agents. He senses a trap, the club's silence too heavy, the air too still. Poirot. Monsieur, if agents are near, we are not safe. Mademoiselle Wren, you must stay close. The little grey cells demand we move, find the cipher's source before midnight strikes. Mycroft nods, his pipe glowing, his mind a chessboard, moving pieces Poirot can't see. He hands Poirot a map. Limehouse, the docks, a warehouse marked in red. The cipher's origin, he says, his voice low, urgent. The fog outside thickens, the city's pulse quickening. A scream, a shatter of glass, the bell tolling louder. Lily's hands shake, the shawl slipping, the air cold despite the fire. I'm in too deep, she thinks, but Poirot's calm anchors her, his cane tapping as they leave the room, the club's silence a weight on their backs. Outside, the fog swallows them, the air sharp with coal and danger. Poirot leads, his eyes scanning. A cloaked figure across the street, a glint of steel, a horse's whinny. Moriarty's eyes, he thinks, his mind racing. The map points to Limehouse, the opium dens where the cipher was born. Lily follows, her boots slipping, her heart pounding. The city a maze of knives and shadows. From above, Moriarty's web tightens. An agent in the fog, a blade ready, a clock ticking toward midnight. The city's people, unaware, lock their doors, their hands rough, their fears vast, as Poirot and Lily step deeper into the spider's game, the fog hiding the next move. The fog of London swirls like a living thing, wrapping Poirot and Lily Wren as they step from the Diogenes Club onto Pall Mall's slick cobblestones. The air bites, heavy with the stench of coal smoke, river mud, and the sharp, sour tang of fear. Gas lamps flicker, their lights swallowed by the mist, casting shadows that twist across soot-stained walls. The city's pulse throbs, a cart's wheels grinding, a dockworker's shout, the toll of a church bell creeping closer to midnight, each chime a warning. Poirot's boots click softly, his silver-topped cane a steady rhythm, clutching Mycroft's map, its red mark pointing to a Limehouse warehouse where Moriarty's cipher was born. Lily follows, her shawl damp, clinging to her shoulders, her hands raw from sewing, trembling as she grips her courage. The fog hides eyes, but Poirot's grey cells hum, sensing danger in every shadow, the cipher fragments, Regent, Vault, burning in his coat. Lily's breath clouds, her boots slipping on the stones, the air thick with the reek of rotting fish and tar from the nearby Thames. I'm no one, she thinks, her heart pounding, just a seamstress, but they'll kill me for that note. Poirot's calm is her anchor, his small frame a shield against the city's knives. She glances back, expecting a glint of steel, a cloaked figure trailing. The fog muffles sound. A horse's whinny, a woman's cry cut short, the clink of a bottle in an alley. London is a predator, its streets a maze of hunger and betrayal, where survival is a coin tossed in the dark. He knows the way, she tells herself, following Poirot's steady steps. The map's promise of truth, a faint hope against her fear. Poirot. Mademoiselle Wren, stay close. Limehouse is a den of shadows, but Hercule Poirot sees through them. The little grey cells will find this warehouse, and with it, Moriarty's heart. His voice is soft, precise, cutting through the fog's weight. The air tastes bitter, like ash and salt coating his moustache. His eyes scan the street. A newsboy huddles in a doorway, his cap wet, his hands shaking. A woman hurries past, her shawl thin, her eyes hollow. A man leans against a lamp, his pipe's ember flaring, watching. Moriarty's eyes, Poirot thinks, his mind sorting. The cipher, the bank heist, the midnight deadline. The map in his hand, creased and damp, marks a warehouse by the docks, a hub of Moriarty's web. The fog thickens, cold, smelling of oil and decay, as they turn toward the East End. The city's pulse quickening, a shout, a shatter of glass, the bell tolling louder. From the omniscient mist, London's underbelly writhes. In a Limehouse opium den, Moriarty sits, his thin frame cloaked in shadow, his eyes glinting like polished stone. His fingers trace a ledger, its pages filled with codes, plans, names of pawns, dock workers, clerks, a traitor in the Bank of England. The heist is set. Midnight, when guards are sparse, the cipher unlocking a vault of gold and secrets, trade agreements, diplomatic letters, enough to cripple markets. A murder will seal the chaos, a witness silenced. His agents move, a sailor slips a forged key to a contact, a barmaid overhears a whispered deal, her hands trembling as she pours gin. The city's people, unaware, lock their tenement doors, their hands rough from labour, their dreams small, their fears vast. Lily's note, now with Poirot, is a spark Moriarty cannot let ignite. He knows Poirot is close, his mind a threat, and orders his agents. Find them, end them. Poirot and Lily reach Limehouse, the air heavier, sharper, reeking of tar, fish, and the sweet sickly haze of opium drifting from hidden dens. The streets narrow, alleys twisting, walls slimy with moss and grime. Gas lamps are fewer, their light dim, casting pools of yellow that barely touch the ground. A dock worker stumbles past, his breath reeking of ale, his eyes avoiding theirs. A child, barefoot, scavenges in a gutter, her hands black with filth, her cough harsh. Lily's heart races, the fog pressing against her, cold, damp, smelling of death. This place eats people, she thinks, her shawl slipping, her hands trembling. Poirot's cane taps, his eyes scanning. A warehouse looms ahead, its windows boarded, its door rusted, the red mark on the map a beacon in the dark. Poirot. Mademoiselle, this is the place. The cipher's heart lies within, but danger guards it. Stay behind me and be silent. Lily nods, her breath shallow, the air thick with the stench of oil and rot. The warehouse's silhouette is a hulking beast, its walls blackened by years of dockside grime, its air heavy with the creak of ships and the lap of the Thames against rotting piers. Poirot pushes the door, its hinges groaning, leaking the scent of damp wood, rust and something sharper, gunpowder perhaps, or blood. Inside, the darkness is thick, broken only by slivers of moonlight through cracked boards. Crates loom, their shadows jagged, the air cold, smelling of salt and decay. Poirot's cane taps softly, his eyes adjusting, spotting papers scattered on a table, a lantern flickering, its light weak, casting ghosts on the walls. Lily follows, her boots scuffing, her hands clutching her shawl, the air chilling her bones. I shouldn't be here, she thinks, her heart hammering, the note's danger a weight she can't shake. A rustle in the shadows makes her freeze, a rat or something worse. Poirot moves to the table, his gloved hands lifting papers, ledgers, maps, a cipher fragment matching Lily's note, symbols twisting like snakes, the word midnight scrawled in red. His grey cells hum, the heist, the vault, the final piece. The air shifts, heavy, smelling of sweat and steel. Footsteps echo deliberate from the shadows, a man, tall, cloaked, a scar across his cheek, his knife glinting in the lantern's glow. Scarred man. You're a long way from Baker Street, little man. Hand over the note and the girl might live. Poirot's cane tightens in his grip, his eyes locking on the man. Another of Moriarty's pawns, a killer sent to tie loose ends. Lily gasps, pressing against a crate, the air thick with fear, her hands trembling. The city outside hums, a ship's horn, a drunkard's shout, the bell tolling closer to midnight. Poirot's voice is calm, precise, a blade in the dark. Poirot. Monsieur, you underestimate Hercule Poirot. Drop your knife or the little grey cells will ensure you regret it. The man lunges, his knife flashing, but Poirot is swift, his cane striking the man's wrist, sending the blade clattering. Lily screams, the sound sharp, echoing in the warehouse. The man curses, his scar twisting, his fist swinging, but Poirot dodges, his small frame agile, his mind sharper than steel. He trips the man with his cane, sending him crashing into crates, wood splintering, the air thick with dust and fear. Poirot binds the man's wrists with rope from the floor, his eyes scanning the shadows, sensing more danger. Poirot. Mademoiselle, we have the cipher's heart, but Moriarty's eyes are many. We must move, find the bank before midnight strikes. Lily trembles, her shawl slipping, the air cold, smelling of blood and gunpowder. The cipher fragment, now with Poirot, is a key to Moriarty's plan, but the warehouse feels alive, its shadows watching. From above, Moriarty's web tightens. Another agent, a woman in a tavern nearby, hears of Poirot's trail, her hands steady as she slips a message to a contact. The city's pulse races. A scream, a shatter of glass, the bell tolling louder closer to midnight. Poirot leads Lily from the warehouse, the fog swallowing them, the air sharp with tar and danger. The map points to the Bank of England, the heist stage, but Moriarty's agents close in, their knives ready, their orders clear. They hurry through Limehouse's alleys, the fog a shroud, the streets a labyrinth of filth and fear. Poirot's cane taps, his mind racing, the cipher, the vault, the midnight deadline. Lily follows, her boots slipping, her heart pounding, the city a beast ready to swallow them. The air smells of oil, sweat and death, the fog hiding the next move in Moriarty's deadly game as the bell tolls, counting down to chaos. The fog of Limehouse clings to Hercule Poirot and Lily Wren as they hurry through its twisted alleys, the city's pulse a frantic rhythm, ship horns moaning, the drunkard's curse echoing, the church bells toll inching closer to midnight, each chime a heartbeat in London's shadowed throat. The air is thick, reeking of tar, rotting fish, and the sweet sickly haze of opium dens, their smoke seeping into the mist. Cobblestones, slick with filth, gleam under sparse oil lamps, their flames weak, casting shadows that writhe like spectres on slimy walls. Poirot's boots, precise despite the gloom, click softly, his silver-topped cane tapping a steady guide. The cipher fragments, Regent Vault Midnight, tucked in his coat, a key to Moriarty's heist at the Bank of England. Lily's shawl, damp and tattered, clings to her trembling frame, her hands raw from sewing, her breath quick, clouding in the chill. The warehouse's danger lingers, scarred, bound, but alive, and the fog hides eyes. Moriarty's agents trailing, their blades sharp, their silence deadly. Lily's heart races, her boots scraping the stones, the air heavy with the stench of decay and her own fear sharp in her nose. I'm in too deep, she thinks, her eyes darting to shadows expecting a glint of steel, a cloaked figure closing in. Poirot's calm is her lifeline, his small frame a beacon in this city of knives. He knows the truth, she tells herself, clutching her shawl, the cipher's weight a chain she can't escape. The fog muffles sound, a sailor's laugh, a child's cough from a tenement, a scream cut short in a nearby alley. London is a beast, its hunger raw. Children scavenge in gutters, women barter in doorways, men trade blows for a shilling. The Bank of England, their destination, feels a world away, its promise of answers buried in the mist. Poirot, Mademoiselle Wren, haste is our ally. The bank is near, and Hercule Poirot will not let Moriarty's web ensnare us. The little grey cells see the path. Stay close. His voice, soft but unyielding, cuts through the fog's weight. The air tastes acrid, like coal and salt coating his moustache. His grey eyes scan the alley. A dock worker slumps against a wall, his bottle glinting. A woman hurries past, her bonnet askew, her eyes hollow. A rat scuttles through filth, its squeak sharp. Moriarty's pawns, Poirot thinks, his mind racing. The cipher unlocks a vault. The heist strikes at midnight, the city's heart at stake. The fragments in his coat, symbols, numbers, words, point to the bank's secrets, gold, documents, chaos if stolen. The fog thickens, cold, smelling of oil and menace as they near the Thames, its waters lapping, thick with refuse, guiding them toward Threadneedle Street. From the omniscient haze London's underbelly churns. Moriarty in his Limehouse lair adjusts his plan, his thin fingers tracing a clock's face, its hands nearing midnight. His web is vast. Agents in the docks, Whitehall, the bank itself, each a thread in his heist. A forged key, a bribed guard, a cipher to unlock a vault of gold and state secrets. A murder, planned at midnight, will silence a bank clerk who knows too much. His agents move. A barmaid slips a note to a sailor, her hands trembling. A clerk in the bank hides a ledger, his breath quick. A thief in Whitechapel sharpens a blade, his eyes cold. The city's people, unaware, huddle in tenements, their hands calloused, their dreams small, their fears vast. Poirot's pursuit, with Lily's note, is a spark Moriarty must extinguish. He knows the detective's mind, fears its precision, and orders his agents, stop them now. Poirot and Lily reach the Thames, its waters black, glinting under a gas lamp's feeble glow, the air sharp with the stench of mud, fish and tar. The fog parts briefly, revealing the city's skyline. Chimneys, spires, the bank's distant silhouette, a fortress of stone and secrets. They board a hansom cab, its driver hunched, his cloak dripping, his horse snorting steam. The cab rattles toward Threadneedle Street, wheels grinding through puddles, the fog closing in, muffling the bell's toll, the city's cries, a shout, a shatter of glass, a woman's sob. Lily grips the seat, her hands trembling, the air cold, smelling of damp leather and fear. The bank, she thinks. It's where Mr. Carver worked, where he died for that note. Poirot's eyes gleam, his cane steady, his mind sorting. The vault, the cipher, the midnight deadline. Poirot, Mademoiselle, the bank holds Moriarty's prize. We must find the vault before his agents strike. Courage, the little grey cells are never wrong. The cab halts near Threadneedle Street, the Bank of England looming, its columns stark, its walls cold, unyielding. The fog wraps it like a shroud, gas lamps casting eerie halos, the air heavy with the scent of stone, wax and tension. Guards patrol, their boots echoing, their rifles glinting, unaware of the traitor within. Poirot pays the driver, his gloved hand swift, and leads Lily to an alley beside the bank, its walls slimy, its air sharp with coal and metal. The cipher fragments burn in his coat, their symbols are mapped to the vault. The little grey cells hum, he thinks, spotting a side door, its lock rusted, a service entrance unguarded. He kneels, his tools precise, picking the lock with a soft click, the air cold, smelling of rust and danger. Lily follows, her shawl slipping, her hands trembling, the fog pressing against her, muffling the bell's toll, now louder, closer to midnight. I'm no one, she thinks, her heart pounding, but they'll kill me here too. The bank's shadow looms, its silence heavy, broken by the creak of the door as Poirot opens it. Inside, the air is stale, thick with the scent of ink, paper and polished wood. Corridors dim, gaslights low, casting long shadows. Poirot's cane taps softly, his eyes scanning. Marble floors, locked doors, a staircase descending to the vaults. Lily's breath catches, the air cold, smelling of dust and fear. The ciphers weight a noose around her. From above, Moriarty's web tightens. His agent, a woman named Eliza Kane, posing as a cleaner, moves through the bank's halls, her bucket clinking, her eyes sharp, her knife hidden in her apron. She knows Poirot's trail, heard of the warehouse fight, and tracks him here. Her orders clear. Retrieve the cipher, silence the girl. Eliza's hands, rough from labour, are steady, her breath calm, smelling the bank's wax and her own sweat. The city outside churns. A dock worker pockets a bribe, a clerk hides a forged letter, a prostitute in Whitechapel sees too much, her life fading. The bell tolls, counting down to midnight, the heist's hour. Poirot and Lily descend to the vault level, the air colder, sharper, smelling of iron and stone. The corridor is narrow, its walls damp, gaslights flickering, casting shadows that dance like spectres. Poirot's grey cells hum, the cipher fragments guiding him to a vault door, its lock complex, symbols etched in steel matching the notes' patterns. The key, he thinks, his fingers tracing the fragments, aligning numbers, symbols, Regent Vault Midnight. The lock clicks, the door groaning open, revealing a chamber of gold bars, ledgers and sealed boxes, state secrets, trade agreements, Moriarty's prize. Lily gasps, her hands trembling, the air heavy with wealth and danger. Poirot, Mademoiselle, this is Moriarty's heart, but we are not alone. The spider's agents are near. Eliza Kane steps from the shadows, her knife glinting, her eyes cold, her voice low, cutting through the vault's silence. Eliza, you're clever, detective, but too late. Hand over the cipher or the girl bleeds. Lily freezes, her shawl slipping, the air thick with fear, her hands trembling. The fog outside presses, the bell tolling, midnight seconds away. Poirot's cane tightens, his grey eyes locking on Eliza, his mind ablade. He steps forward, his voice calm, precise, a trap in the dark. Poirot, Madame, you mistake Hercule Poirot for a man who yields. Drop your knife, or the little grey cells will end this game. Eliza lunges, her knife flashing, but Poirot is swift, his cane striking her wrist, the blade clattering. Lily screams, the sound sharp, echoing in the vault. Eliza curses, her face twisting, her fist swinging, but Poirot dodges, his small frame agile, his mind sharper than steel. He trips her with his cane, sending her sprawling, the air thick with dust and fear. Poirot binds her wrists with her own apron, his eyes scanning the vault, sensing the heist's hour. The bell tolls midnight, the city's pulse racing, a scream, a shatter of glass, the fog hiding Moriarty's next move. Poirot, Mademoiselle, we have the vault, but Moriarty's plan moves. We must find the traitor within the bank or all is lost. They slip from the vault, the fog swallowing them, the air sharp with iron and danger as London's shadows close in, the heist unfolding, Moriarty's web a noose tightening around the city's heart. The fog of London presses against the Bank of England stone walls as Hercule Poirot and Lily Wren slip from the vault's cold embrace. The city's pulse a fevered drum, midnight's bell fading, a distant shout splitting the air, the Thames gurgling with secrets. The air is sharp, thick with coal smoke, damp stone, and the metallic tang of danger clinging to Poirot's meticulously waxed moustache. His boots, polished despite the muck, click softly on the marble corridor, his silver-topped cane a steady rhythm, the cipher fragments, Regent, Vault, Midnight, safe in his coat, their symbols a map to Moriarty's heist. Lily's shawl, tattered and soaked, clings to her trembling shoulders, her hands raw from sewing, her breath quick, clouding in the chill. Eliza Kane, bound in the vault, is silenced, but Poirot's grey cells hum. The traitor within the bank moves and Moriarty's plan breathes. The fog hides eyes, its tendrils curling through cracked windows, carrying whispers of betrayal. Lily's heart pounds, her boots scuffing the polished floor, the air heavy with the scent of ink, wax and her own fear sharp in her nose. I don't belong here, she thinks. The bank's grandeur, marble, gilt, locked doors, a world apart from her tenement's grime. Poirot's calm anchors her, his small frame a shield against the city's knives, but the traitor's shadow looms, a ghost tied to her employer's bloodied face, Mr. Carver, throat slashed for the note she found. The fog muffles sound, a guard's boots echoing, a clerk's cough, a creak of wood in the dark. London is a predator, its hunger raw. Children beg in alleys, women barter their warmth, men sell their souls for gin. Find the traitor, she tells herself, following Poirot, the bank's silence a weight on her chest. Poirot, Mademoiselle Wren, silence is our ally. The traitor is near, a pawn in Moriarty's game. Hercule Poirot sees the threads. Stay close, and we shall cut them. His voice, soft but unyielding, slices through the tension. The air tastes bitter, like ash and metal coating his throat. His grey eyes scan the corridor, gaslights flicker, casting shadows on portraits of stern bankers. A locked door glints, its brass handle worn. A ledger lies open on a desk, its pages fluttering in the draught. The little grey cells hum, he thinks, sorting clues. The cipher unlocks a vault of gold and secrets. The heist strikes now. A traitor aids Moriarty's pawns. The fog seeps through a window, cold, smelling of river mud and menace, as they move toward the clerk's offices, where Mycroft hinted a betrayer hides. From the omniscient mist, London's underbelly writhes. Moriarty, in his Limehouse lair, adjusts his clock, its hands past midnight, his eyes cold as slate. His heist unfolds. A forged key opens a side gate. A bribed guard looks away. The cipher, partly lost to Poirot, unlocks a vault of trade agreements, enough to topple markets. A murder, planned to silence a clerk, nears its hour. His agents move. A sailor slips through the docks, his knife ready. A barmaid in Whitechapel hides a message, her hands trembling. The traitor, a clerk named Thomas Reed, sweats in the bank, his hands stained with ink and gilt. The city's people, unaware, huddle in tenements, their hands calloused, their dreams small, their fears vast. Poirot's pursuit with Lily's note is a spark Moriarty must crush. He knows the detective's mind, fears its precision, and orders, kill them, retrieve the cipher. Poirot and Lily reach the clerk's offices, the air stale, heavy with the scent of paper, ink and sweat. Gaslights burn low, desks cluttered with ledgers, quills and wax seals, their shadows dancing on wood-panelled walls. A single clerk, Reed, hunches over a desk, his hands trembling, his face pale, ink smudging his fingers. Poirot's eyes narrow, spotting a cipher fragment on Reed's desk, symbols matching Lily's note, the word gate scrawled in haste. The traitor, he thinks, his cane steady, his mind a blade. Lily's breath catches, the air cold, smelling of dust and fear, Reed's eyes darting, guilty as he senses their presence. Poirot. Monsieur Reed, you work late, but not for the bank. Hercule Poirot sees the cipher in your hand. Moriarty's work. Speak, or the little grey cells will unravel you. Reed startles, his chair scraping, his hands shaking, the air thick with his sweat and panic. He's young, his suit worn, his eyes hollow from sleepless nights, torn between Moriarty's gold and the noose. They know, he thinks, his heart racing, the cipher fragment damning, tied to the gate where Moriarty's men enter. The fog outside presses, muffling the city's pulse. A guard's shout, a horse's whinny, a scream in the distance. Lily steps back, her shawl slipping, her hands trembling, the air sharp with ink and danger. He's one of them, she thinks, her employer's blood flashing. The notes wait a curse. Reed. I had no choice. They'd kill my family. The professor. He knows everything. Please don't... His voice breaks, cut by a creak from the corridor, footsteps deliberate, heavy. Poirot's grey cells hum, his eyes darting to the door. A shadow looms, broad, cloaked, a pistol glinting in the gaslight's glow. Moriarty's agent, a man named Victor Hale, steps in, his face scarred, his eyes cold, his orders clear. Silence Reed. Kill the intruders. The air shifts, heavy with gunpowder and menace, the fog seeping through a cracked window, cold, smelling of mud and steel. Hale. You talk too much, Reed, and you, detective, are out of time. Hand over the cipher, or you both die. Lily gasps, pressing against a desk, her hands trembling, the air thick with fear, her shawl slipping to the floor. The city outside churns. A dock worker pockets a bribe. A prostitute sees too much. Her life fading. The fog hiding the heist's chaos. Poirot's cane tightens, his grey eyes locking on Hale, his mind a chessboard calculating. The pistol, the distance, the traitor's fear. His voice is calm, precise, a trap in the dark. Poirot. Monsieur Hale, you mistake Hercule Poirot for a man who fears your gun. Lower it, or the little grey cells will outwit you. Hale sneers, his pistol steady, but Reed panics, lunging for the cipher fragment, knocking over a lamp. Glass shatters, oil spills, flames licking the desk, the air thick with smoke and panic. Lily screams, the sound sharp, echoing in the office. Poirot moves, swift, his cane striking Hale's wrist, the pistol firing, its bullet grazing a wall, plaster crumbling. Hale curses, his scar twisting, his fist swinging, but Poirot dodges, his small frame agile, his mind sharper than steel. He trips Hale with his cane, sending him crashing into a shelf, ledgers tumbling, the air thick with dust and fire. Poirot grabs Reed, his grip firm, the cipher fragment in hand, as Lily coughs, the smoke stinging her eyes, the fog outside pressing, the city's pulse racing. A shout, a shatter of glass, the heist unfolding. Poirot. Mademoiselle, we must flee. Monsieur Reed, you come with Hercule Poirot, or Moriarty's blade finds you next. They rush from the office, the fire spreading, smoke curling, the air sharp with burning paper and danger. Reed stumbles, his hands trembling, his guilt a weight. Lily's shawl lost, her hands raw, her heart pounding. The bank's corridors echo with shouts, guards roused, boots pounding, unaware of the traitor's role. Poirot leads them to a service stair, its steps narrow, damp, smelling of stone and rust, descending to a side gate where Moriarty's men enter. The cipher fragments burn in his coat, the heist's key, but Hale's groan from the office warns, more agents come. The fog outside swallows the bank, the air cold, thick with coal and menace as they reach the gate, its lock forced, a guard slumped, blood pooling, the heist's path clear. From above, Moriarty's web tightens. His men breach the vault, gold bars shifted, documents stolen, the ciphers lost a hiccup but not a halt. He knows Poirot's trail, fears his mind, and orders, end them now. The city's people, unaware, lock their doors, their hands rough, their fears vast as the fog hides the heist's chaos. Poirot, Lily and Reed slip through the gate, the air sharp with blood and danger. The Thames nearby, its waters black, glinting. The next move in Moriarty's game, a shadow in the mist ready to strike. The fog of London swirls like a shroud as Hercule Poirot, Lily Wren and Thomas Reed emerge from the Bank of England's breached gate. The Thames, a black ribbon glinting nearby, its waters thick with the stench of mud and decay. The air bites, heavy with coal smoke, blood, and the sharp tang of gunpowder from the heist's chaos. Cobblestones, slick with rain, reflect the dim glow of a gas lamp, its flame flickering, casting shadows that dance across the alley's slimy walls. Poirot's boots click softly, his silver-topped cane a steady anchor. The cipher fragments, Regent, Vault, Midnight, Gate, burning in his coat, a key to Moriarty's plan. Lily's hands, raw from sewing, tremble as she clutches her coat, her shawl lost, her breath quick, clouding in the chill. Reed, the traitor clerk, stumbles, his face pale, his ink-stained hands shaking, guilt a noose around his neck. The bank's shouts fade, guards roused, fire spreading. But Moriarty's men are inside, gold and secret slipping into the fog. Lily's heart hammers, her boots slipping on the stones, the air thick with the reek of blood and her own fear sharp in her nose. I'm nobody, she thinks, but they'll kill me for seeing this. Poirot's calm is her shield, his small frame a fortress against the city's blades, but Reed's presence chills her. His betrayal tied to her employer's murder, Mr. Carver's throat slashed for the note she found. The fog muffles sound, a ship's horn, a drunkard's curse, a woman's scream cut short in a distant alley. London is a beast, its hunger raw. Children scavenge, women barter, men bleed for coin. We can't stay here, she tells herself, following Poirot, the Thames lapping a grim reminder of bodies it hides. Poirot. Mademoiselle Wren, Monsieur Reed. Haste is life. Moriarty's men are within, but Hercule Poirot will find their path. The little grey cells see the next move, follow. His voice, soft but ironclad, cuts through the fog's weight. The air tastes acrid, like ash and steel, coating his moustache. His grey eyes scan the alley, a crate overturned, its wood splintered, a sailor's silhouette vanishing into the mist, a glint of metal under a cloak. Moriarty's eyes, he thinks, his mind racing. The cipher unlocks gold and state secrets. The heist moves now. A traitor's path leads to the docks. The fragments in his coat, symbols, words, point to a ship waiting to carry Moriarty's prize. The fog thickens, cold, smelling of tar and menace as they move toward the docks, the city's pulse quickening. A shout, a shatter of glass, the Thames' dark promise. From the omniscient mist, London's underbelly pulses. Moriarty, in his Limehouse lair, watches a clock, its hands past midnight, his thin fingers tracing a map of the docks. His heist succeeds. Gold bars shift to a ship, documents, trade agreements, diplomatic letters, slipped into crates, and murder silences a guard. His agents move. A dock worker loads a crate, his hands trembling. A barmaid in Whitechapel hides a knife, her eyes cold. A sailor bribed guards a ship, the Black Raven, its hold ready for Moriarty's prize. The city's people, unaware, lock their doors, their hands calloused, their dreams small, their fears vast. Poirot's pursuit with Reed's betrayal is a spark Moriarty must snuff out. He knows the detective's mind, fears its precision, and orders. Track them to the docks, end them. Poirot leads Lily and Reed through the alley. The fog a curtain, the air sharp with salt and oil as the Thames grows louder. The docks loom, cranes jutting like skeletal arms, ships creaking, their masts lost in the mist. The air reeks of fish, tar and sweat. The ground littered with ropes, barrels and fish guts slick underfoot. The dockworker shouts, his voice hoarse, hauling crates, unaware of the heist's cargo. Lily's breath catches, the fog pressing against her, cold, smelling of death. This place eats souls, she thinks, her hands trembling, Reed's guilt a shadow beside her. Poirot's cane taps, his eyes spotting a ship. The Black Raven, its lanterns dim, sailors moving crates, their faces hard, their hands quick. Poirot. Mademoiselle, Monsieur Reed, the ship is Moriarty's escape. The cipher's prize is aboard. Danger guards it. Stay low and follow. Lily nods, her heart racing, the air thick with the stench of fish and fear. The Black Raven's hull looms, its wood salt-stained, its hold a black maw swallowing crates. Reed stumbles, his hand shaking, his voice a whisper broken by guilt. Reed. I didn't know it had come to this. The Professor promised gold, not blood. The ship, they're taking it all there. Poirot's eyes gleam, his grey cells humming. The ship, the heist's endgame. The air shifts, heavy with salt and menace as they crouch behind barrels, the fog cloaking them, the dock's chaos a shield. Sailors shout, ropes creak, a crane groans, but Poirot spots a cloaked figure on the deck. A woman, her hair dark, her movements sharp, a pistol in her hand. Moriarty's agent, Clara Voss, guards the cargo, her orders clear: protect the ship, kill intruders. The fog muffles the city's pulse, a sailor's laugh, a child's cough, a scream in the distance. Poirot. Monsieur Reed, you know this ship's path. Speak, or Hercule Poirot leaves you to Moriarty's mercy. Reed swallows, his face pale, the air thick with his sweat and panic. I'm dead either way, he thinks, the fog cold, smelling of tar and blood. He whispers, his voice trembling. Reed. The Black Raven sails at dawn to Amsterdam. The crates, gold, papers, are in the hold, guarded. She, Clara, she's his enforcer. Lily's hands tremble, the air sharp with fear, her heart pounding. Clara, she thinks, the name a blade tied to her employer's death. The fog presses, the docks alive with shadows, sailors, crates, a glint of steel. Poirot's mind races. The hold, the cargo, Clara's pistol. He leads them closer, using barrels as cover, the air cold, smelling of oil and danger. The Black Raven's deck creaks, Clara's eyes scanning, her pistol ready, her breath calm, smelling the sea and her own resolve. From above, Moriarty's web tightens. His men load the last crates, gold heavy, documents sealed, the heist nearly complete. He knows Poirot's trail, fears his mind, and orders Clara. End them, secure the ship. The city's people, unaware, huddle in tenements, their hands rough, their fears vast as the fog hides the heist's climax. A dock worker pockets a bribe, a barmaid sees too much, her life fading, the Thames ready to swallow more secrets. Clara spots a shadow, Lily's coat, caught on a barrel. Her pistol snaps up, her voice low, cutting through the fog. Clara. Come out, or I shoot. The professor doesn't like loose ends. Lily freezes, her hands trembling, the air thick with fear, her heart pounding. Poirot's cane tightens, his grey eyes locking on Clara, his mind a chessboard. The pistol, the distance, reads fear. He whispers to Lily, his voice calm, precise. Poirot. Mademoiselle, stay low. Hercule Poirot handles this. He steps out, his small frame bold, his cane raised, his voice a trap in the dark. Poirot. Madame Voss, you guard Moriarty's prize, but Hercule Poirot guards justice. Lower your pistol, or the little grey cells outwit you. Clara sneers, her pistol steady, but Reed panics, lunging forward, shouting. Reed. Don't shoot. I'll tell you everything. Clara fires, the bullet grazing Reed's arm, blood blooming, the sound sharp, echoing on the docks. Lily screams, crouching, the air thick with gunpowder and fear. Poirot moves, swift, his cane striking Clara's wrist, the pistol clattering. Clara curses, her face twisting, her fist swinging, but Poirot dodges, his small frame agile, his mind sharper than steel. He trips her with his cane, sending her sprawling, the air thick with dust and salt. Sailors pause, confused, the fog cloaking the fight, the city's pulse racing, a shout, a shatter of glass, the Thames lapping. Poirot. Mademoiselle, Monsieur Reed, to the hold. The cargo is Moriarty's heart. We end this now. They rush aboard, Reed clutching his arm, blood dripping, Lily's hands trembling, the air sharp with blood and danger. The Black Raven's hold looms, crates stacked, gold glinting, documents sealed, the heist's prize within reach. The fog swallows the docks, the Thames dark, the next move in Moriarty's game a shadow in the mist, ready to strike. The Black Raven's hold is a cavern of shadows, its air thick with the stench of salt, damp wood, and the metallic tang of blood from Thomas Reed's grazed arm. Crates loom, stacked high, their wood scarred, hiding gold bars and sealed documents. Moriarty's heist, the heart of his plan to cripple London's trade. The fog seeps through the ship's planks, curling like smoke, the Thames lapping a low growl outside, mingling with the creak of ropes and the distant shouts of dock workers. Hercule Poirot's boots echo softly on the hold's floor, his silver-topped cane a steady pulse. The cipher fragments, Regent, Vault, Midnight, Gate, tucked in his coat, their symbols a map to this moment. Lily Wren follows, her hands trembling, raw from sewing, her coat damp, her breath quick, clouding in the chill. Reed stumbles, his face pale, blood dripping, his guilt a weight heavier than the gold. The city's pulse throbs, a sailor's curse, a crate's thud, the Thames's dark rhythm as Moriarty's web closes in. Lily's heart pounds, her eyes darting to the hold shadows, expecting blades. The air smells of tar and fear, sharp in her nose, the ship sway, unsteadying her boots. I'm trapped, she thinks. The crate's a maze, the gold a curse tied to her employer's murder. Mr. Carver's throat slashed for the note she found. Poirot's calm anchors her, his small frame a shield, but Reed's betrayal chills her, his blood a reminder of the cost. The fog muffles sound, a dock worker's shout, a woman's sob, the creak of a crane. London is a predator, its docks a slaughterhouse. Children scavenge fish guts, men brawl for coin, women sell their warmth in alleys. We're so close, she tells herself, clinging to Poirot's resolve. The hold's darkness a trap waiting to spring. Poirot, Mademoiselle Wren, Monsieur Reed, stay sharp. The cargo is here, but Moriarty's eyes watch. Hercule Poirot sees the truth. The little grey cells will end this game. His voice, soft but razor-sharp, cuts through the hold's gloom. The air tastes bitter, like salt and steel coating his moustache. His grey eyes scan the crates, a label marked Amsterdam, a glint of gold through a cracked lid, a sealed box leaking papers. The heist's prize, he thinks, his mind racing. The cipher unlocked the vault. The gold and documents are here, but Moriarty's agents guard the ship. The fog presses, cold, smelling of oil and menace. As they move deeper, the hold's shadows alive with threat. Reed's breath hitches, his arm bleeding, his voice a whisper. Reed, they're coming. The Professor's men. They'll kill us all. The crates, they're loaded for dawn. Poirot's eyes gleam, his grey cells humming. Dawn, the black raven sails. He opens a crate, its wood splintering, revealing gold bars, their weight heavy, and a leather case of documents, trade agreements, diplomatic letters, secrets to topple markets. Lily gasps, the air thick with dust and fear, her hands trembling. The ship creaks, the Thames lapping louder, the city's pulse quickening. A sailor's shout, a bottle shattering, a scream in the fog. From the omniscient mist, London's underbelly churns. Moriarty in his Limehouse lair adjusts his plan, his thin fingers tracing a ship's manifest, his eyes cold as ice. The heist nears completion, gold and documents loaded, the Black Raven ready to sail, a murder to silence a dock worker who saw too much. His agents move, a sailor checks the hold, his knife ready. A barmaid slips a message to a contact, her hands trembling. A bribed guard at the bank lies dead, his blood pooling. The city's people, unaware, huddle in tenements, their hands rough, their dreams small, their fears vast. Poirot's presence with Lillian Reed is a spark Moriarty must extinguish. He knows the detective's mind, fears its precision, and orders, clear the hold, kill them now. A creak above startles Lily, her heart racing, the air sharp with sweat and danger. Footsteps echo, heavy, deliberate. A sailor, Moriarty's man, descending to the hold, his lantern casting jagged light, his knife glinting. His face is weathered, his eyes cold, his orders clear. Eliminate intruders, secure the cargo. Poirot signals silence, pulling Lily and Reed behind a crate, the air cold, smelling of tar and blood. The sailor's boots thud, his lantern swaying, shadows dancing on the crates. Lily's breath catches, her hands trembling, the fog seeping through the planks, muffling the city's cries. A shout, a crane's groan, a woman's sob. Poirot. Mademoiselle, monsieur, stay low. Hercule Poirot handles this pawn. The sailor pauses, his knife ready, sensing movement. Poirot steps out, his cane raised, his voice calm, a trap in the dark. Poirot. Monsieur, you guard Moriarty's prize, but Hercule Poirot guards justice. Drop your knife, or the little grey cells prevail. The sailor snarls, lunging, his knife flashing, but Poirot is swift, his cane striking the man's wrist, the blade clattering. Lily stifles a scream, the air thick with fear, her hands trembling. Reed cowers, his blood dripping, his guilt a chain. The sailor swings a fist, but Poirot dodges, his small frame agile, his mind sharper than steel. He trips the sailor with his cane, sending him crashing into crates, wood splintering, the air thick with dust and salt. Poirot binds the man's wrists with rope from the hold, his eyes scanning the shadows, sensing more danger. Poirot. Mademoiselle, Monsieur Reed, the cargo is ours, but the ship is a trap. We must destroy the documents, or Moriarty wins. Lily nods, her heart pounding, the air sharp with fear and resolve. Poirot opens the leather case, papers spilling, trade agreements, letters, secrets inked in precise script. He lights a match, its flame weak, the air thick with sulphur and tension. The papers catch, flames licking, smoke curling, the hold's shadows dancing. Reed panics, his voice breaking. Reed. You can't. The professor will know. His men are everywhere. The fire spreads, smoke stinging Lily's eyes, the air hot, smelling of burning paper and danger. The ship creaks, the Thames lapping, the city's pulse racing. A sailor's shout, a crate's thud, a scream in the fog. Poirot's eyes gleam, his grey cells humming. The documents burn, but Moriarty's web remains. He grabs a gold bar, its weight grounding, and leads Lily and Reed toward the deck. He holds heat pressing, the fog outside a cold embrace. From above, Moriarty's web tightens. His men, alerted by smoke, rush to the hold, knives and pistols ready, their orders clear: save the cargo, kill the intruders. The Black Raven's captain, a bribed man, shouts orders, sailors scrambling, the fog cloaking chaos. The city's people, unaware, lock their doors, their hands calloused, their fears vast as the heist falters. A dock worker sees the smoke, his bribe forgotten. A barmaid flees, her message undelivered. A prostitute in Whitechapel hides, her life a flicker. On the deck the fog is thick, the air sharp with salt and smoke. Poirot, Lily and Reed emerge, the gold bar heavy, the documents ashes of victory. But sailors close in, their knives glinting, their faces hard, the fog hiding their numbers. Lily's heart races, her hands trembling, the air cold, smelling of blood and menace. Poirot's cane tightens, his grey eyes scanning, his mind a chessboard. The ship, the men, the escape. A sailor lunges, his knife flashing, but Poirot strikes, his cane swift, sending the man sprawling. Lily screams, the sound sharp, echoing on the docks. Poirot. Mademoiselle, Monsieur Reed, to the dock. Hercule Poirot will not let Moriarty's web hold us. They leap to the dock, the fog swallowing them, the air thick with tar and danger, the Thames dark, glinting, the city's pulse a roar, a shout, a pistol's crack, the Black Raven burning. Moriarty's men pursue, their knives ready, the heist's prize slipping, the next move a shadow in the fog poised to strike. The fog of London's docks wraps Hercule Poirot, Lily Wren and Thomas Reed like a noose, the Black Raven's flames licking the night behind them, smoke curling into the mist. The air is sharp, thick with the stench of burning wood, tar and the sour tang of the Thames, its waters glinting black, lapping against rotting piers. Cobblestones, slick with fish guts and rain, gleam under a gas lamp's dying glow, shadows twisting across crates and ropes strewn like entrails. Poirot's boots, precise despite the chaos, click softly, his silver-topped cane a lifeline. The cipher fragments, Regent, Vault, Midnight, Gate, safe in his coat, their symbols a map to Moriarty's shattered heist. Lily's hands, raw from sewing, tremble as she grips her coat, her breath quick, clouding in the chill. The gold bar Poirot carries a heavy anchor. Reed stumbles, his arm bleeding, his face pale, ink-stained hands shaking, guilt and fear a chain. Moriarty's men pursue, their shouts sharp, knives glinting, the fog hiding their numbers. Lily's heart races, her boots slipping on the stones, the air thick with smoke and fear, sharp in her nose. We're not safe, she thinks. The Black Raven's fire, a beacon drawing more blades. Her employer's murder, Mr. Carver's throat slashed, tied to the note she found. Poirot's calm steadies her, his small frame a fortress, but Reed's betrayal burns, his blood a reminder of the cost. The fog muffles sound, a sailor's curse, a crane's groan, a woman's scream fading in an alley. London is a slaughterhouse, its docks a grave. Children scavenge, men brawl, women barter their warmth for bread. We need to hide, she tells herself, following Poirot's steady steps, the Thames' dark rhythm a threat. Poirot, Mademoiselle Wren, Monsieur Reed, speed is our shield. Moriarty's men are close, but Hercule Poirot sees a path. The little grey cells guide us to safety. Move. His voice, soft but unyielding, cuts through the fog's weight. The air tastes acrid, like ash and salt coating his moustache. His grey eyes scan the dock, a barrel overturned, its fish spilling, a sailor's silhouette vanishing, a glint of steel in the mist. Moriarty's web, he thinks, his mind racing. The documents burned, the gold secured, but the spider's agents hunt them. The fog thickens, cold, smelling of oil and blood, as they duck into an alley, its walls slimy, narrow, the Thames stench stronger. The city's pulse roars, a pistol's crack, a shout, the Black Raven's fire spreading, lighting the fog red. From the omniscient haze, London's underbelly writhes. Moriarty, in his limehouse lair, slams a fist on his desk, his thin frame taut, his eyes blazing. The heist falters, documents ash, gold stalled, the Black Raven burning, his ship lost. His agents scramble, a sailor rallies men, his knife ready, a barmaid flees, her message undelivered. A dock worker, bribed, panics, his hands trembling. The city's people, unaware, huddle in tenements, their hands calloused, their dreams small, their fears vast. Poirot's interference with Lillian Reed is a spark Moriarty must crush. He knows the detective's mind, fears its precision and orders. Hunt them in the alleys, retrieve the gold, kill them. The alley twists, its walls closing in, the air heavy with the reek of rotten sewage, the fog a curtain hiding eyes. Poirot leads, his cane tapping, the gold bar tucked under his coat, its weight slowing him. Lily follows, her heart pounding, the air sharp with fear, her boots scraping. Reed lags, his arm bleeding, his breath ragged, his voice a whisper. Reed. They'll find us. The Professor's men. They don't stop. I didn't mean for this. Gold, not blood. Poirot's eyes narrow, his grey cells humming. Reed's fear is a clue. The air shifts, cold, smelling of mud and menace, as they reach a derelict warehouse, its door splintered, its windows black. Poirot pushes inside, the air stale, thick with dust and rust, the floor littered with broken crates, rusted chains glinting. Lily's breath catches, the fog seeping through cracks, the city's cries muffled, a sailor's shout, a dog's bark, the Black Raven's fire roaring. A hiding place, she thinks, her hands trembling, the warehouse a tomb. Poirot Mademoiselle, monsieur, we pause here. The gold is safe, but Moriarty's men are near. The little grey cells plan our next move. Lily nods, her heart racing, the air thick with dust and fear. The warehouse creaks, its shadows alive, a rat scuttling across the floor. Reed collapses against a crate, his arm bleeding, his face pale, his guilt a weight. Poirot sets the gold bar down, his eyes scanning. A ledger on the floor, its pages torn, symbols matching the cipher. Doc, a new word. Moriarty's orders, he thinks, his mind sorting. The heist's cargo was to sail, but now it's stalled, the spider's web fraying. The fog presses, the air cold, smelling of rust and danger. From above, Moriarty's web tightens. His agent, a man named Jasper Thorne, leads the hunt. His boots heavy, his pistol ready, his face scarred, his orders clear. Find the gold, kill the intruders. Jasper's men fan out, knives glinting, the fog their ally, the docks their hunting ground. The city's pulse races. A dock worker flees, his bribe forgotten. A prostitute hides, her life a flicker. A barmaid's scream cut short, her body sinking into the Thames. Jasper's boots echo, closing in, the warehouse a trap. A creak outside startles Lily, her hands trembling, the air sharp with fear. Footsteps, deliberate, near the door. Jasper's men, their knives ready, their breath heavy, smelling the fog's mud and their own sweat. Poirot signals silence, pulling Lily and Reed behind crates, the air cold, smelling of rust and blood. Jasper enters, his lantern casting harsh light, shadows leaping, his pistol glinting. His voice is low, cutting through the warehouse's gloom. Jasper. Come out, detective. Professor wants his gold. The girl and the traitor die either way. Lily's breath catches, her heart pounding, the air thick with fear, her hands trembling. Poirot's cane tightens, his grey eyes locking on Jasper, his mind a chessboard. The pistol, the distance, Reed's fear. He whispers to Lily, his voice calm, precise. Poirot. Mademoiselle, stay low. Hercule Poirot outwits this pawn. He steps out, his cane raised, his voice a trap in the dark. Poirot. Monsieur Thorne, you chase Moriarty's crumbs, but Hercule Poirot holds the prize. Drop your pistol, or the little grey cells prevail. Jasper sneers, his pistol steady, but Reed panics, shouting, lunging forward. Reed. Don't shoot! I'll give you the gold! Jasper fires, the bullet grazing Reed's shoulder. Blood blooming, the sound sharp, echoing in the warehouse. Lily screams, crouching, the air thick with gunpowder and fear. Poirot moves, swift, his cane striking Jasper's wrist, the pistol clattering. Jasper curses, his scar twisting, his fist swinging, but Poirot dodges, his small frame agile, his mind sharper than steel. He trips Jasper with his cane, sending him sprawling, crates crashing, the air thick with dust and rust. Poirot binds Jasper's wrists with chain, his eyes scanning the shadows, sensing more men outside. Poirot. Mademoiselle, Monsieur Reed, we cannot stay. The gold is a burden, but the docks are a trap. We seek Mycroft's aid. Move! Lily nods, her heart pounding, the air sharp with blood and danger. Reed stumbles, his shoulder bleeding, his guilt a chain. Poirot grabs the gold bar, its weight heavy, and leads them to a back door, the warehouse creaking, the fog outside thick, cold, smelling of tar and menace. The city's pulse roars, a sailor's shout, a pistol's crack, a black raven's fire lighting the fog red. They slip into the alley, the fog swallowing them, Jasper's men closing in, their knives ready, the Thames dark, glinting. The next move in Moriarty's game, a shadow poised to strike. The fog of London's docks chokes the alley as Hercule Poirot, Lily Wren, and Thomas Reed hurry through its narrow throat. The Thames dark waters lapping nearby, heavy with the stench of mud and decay. The air bites, thick with smoke from the black raven's distant fire, the acrid tang of tar and the faint metallic scent of blood from Reed's wounds. Cobblestones, slick with rain and fish slime, gleam under a gas lamp's faltering glow, shadows twisting across slimy walls and scattered crates. Poirot's boots, polished despite the filth, click softly, his silver-topped cane a steady guide, the gold bar tucked under his coat, its weight a burden, the cipher fragments, Regent, vault, midnight, gate, dock, safe in his pocket, a map to Moriarty's ruined heist. Lily's hands, raw from sewing, tremble as she grips her coat, her breath quick, clouding in the chill, her heart racing. Reed stumbles, his shoulder and arm bleeding, his face pale, ink-stained hands shaking, guilt a shackle. Moriarty's men pursue, their boots echoing, knives glinting, the fog hiding their faces. Lily's pulse hammers, her boots slipping on the stones, the air thick with the reek of rot and her own fear sharp in her nose. They're coming, she thinks. The Black Raven's fire, a red haze in the fog. Her employer's murder, Mr. Carver's throat slashed, tied to the note that led her here. Poirot's calm steadies her, his small frame a bulwark against the city's blades, but Reed's betrayal stings, his blood a reminder of her peril. The fog muffles sound, a sailor's shout, a barrel's thud, a woman's cry fading in the distance. London is a graveyard, its docks a butcher's block. Children scavenge, men brawl for coin, women barter their warmth. Mycroft's help, she tells herself, clinging to Poirot's lead, the alley a maze of death. Poirot, Mademoiselle Wren, Monsieur Reed. Courage is our weapon. Mycroft's aid is near, and Hercule Poirot will not let Moriarty's web trap us. The little grey cells see the path. Hurry! His voice, soft but resolute, pierces the fog's weight. The air tastes bitter, like ash and oil, coating his moustache. His grey eyes scan the alley. A rope coiled in the muck, a dockworker's silhouette vanishing, the glint of steel in the mist. Moriarty's eyes, he thinks, his mind racing. The documents burned, the gold secured, but the spider's agents hunt them, their knives sharp. The fog thickens, cold, smelling of sewage and menace as they near Wapping, Mycroft's safe house a beacon in the dark. The city's pulse roars, a pistol's crack, a shout, the Black Raven's fire lighting the fog red, its smoke curling like a ghost. From the omniscient haze, London's underbelly writhes. Moriarty, in his limehouse lair, paces, his thin frame taut, his eyes blazing with cold fury. The heist crumbles, documents ash, gold stalled, the Black Raven burning, his ship lost. His agents scramble, a sailor rallies men, his knife ready, a dockworker flees, his bribe worthless. A barmaid's body sinks into the Thames, her screams silenced. The city's people, unaware, huddle in tenements, their hands calloused, their dreams small, their fears vast. Poirot's interference with Lily and Reed is a spark Moriarty must crush. He knows the detective's mind, fears its precision, and orders. Find them in Wapping, retrieve the gold, kill them. The alley opens to Wapping's grim streets, the air heavier, sharp with the stench of fish, oil, and the Thames's sour breath. Gas lamps flicker, their light weak, casting shadows on crumbling warehouses, their windows black, leaking whispers of decay. Poirot leads, his cane tapping, the gold bar slowing him, its weight a reminder of the heist's stakes. Lily follows, her heart pounding, the air thick with fear, her boots scraping. Reed lags, his wounds bleeding, his voice a broken whisper. Reed. They'll never stop. The Professor's men, they know I've betrayed them. We're dead, all of us. Poirot's eyes narrow, his grey cells humming. Reed's fear points to Moriarty's reach. The air shifts, cold, smelling of mud and danger, as they reach a narrow street, a safe house marked on Mycroft's map, a nondescript door, its paint peeling, its knocker rusted. Poirot knocks, the sound sharp, the fog muffling the city's cries, a sailor's curse, a dog's bark, the Black Raven's fire roaring in the distance. The door opens, a man, tall, cloaked Mycroft's agent, ushering them inside, the air warm, thick with the scent of tobacco and old books, a stark contrast to the dock's rot. The safe house is dim, gas lights low, shelves heavy with ledgers, maps pinned to walls, a fire crackling in a grate. Mycroft stands, his broad frame filling the room, his pipe smoke curling, his eyes sharp, assessing Poirot, Lily, the bleeding reed. The air smells of ash and tension, the city's pulse faint. A shout, a barrel's thud, the Thames lapping. Mycroft's voice, low, resonant, carries the Empire's weight. Mycroft, Mr. Poirot, you've stirred the hornet's nest. The gold, the cipher, show me, or Moriarty's shadow falls further. Poirot produces the cipher fragments and sets the gold bar on a table, its glint heavy. The symbols, Regent, Vault, Midnight, Gate, Dock, a map to the heist's heart. Mycroft's eyes narrow, his mind racing. The documents burned, the gold secured, but Moriarty's agents hunt, the Empire's secrets at risk. The air shifts, warm, smelling of ink and resolve. Poirot. Monsieur Holmes. The heist falters, but Moriarty's men are near. The little grey cells see his plan, a ship to Amsterdam, a traitor's path. What do you hide? Mycroft exhales, smoke curling, his voice cold, measured. Mycroft. Moriarty's reach touches Whitehall, the docks, even my agents. The gold is a distraction. His true prize is a ciphered letter in those documents. Orders to destabilise trade, spark war. You've burned most, but one remains, hidden on the Black Raven's sister ship, the Nighthawk. Lily's breath catches, her hands trembling, the air thick with fear. Another ship, she thinks, her heart pounding, the notes curse unending. The fog outside presses, muffling the city's cries. A pistol's crack, a shout, the fire's roar. Reed slumps, his wounds bleeding, his guilt a chain. Reed, the Nighthawk! I heard whispers. It's docked at Shadwell, guarded. The Professor, he'll kill us all. Poirot's grey cells hum, his mind sorting. The Nighthawk, the final piece. The air shifts, warm but heavy, smelling of ash and danger. A creak outside startles Lily, footsteps heavy, deliberate. Moriarty's men, tracking them, their knives ready. Mycroft's agent bars the door, his pistol drawn, the air thick with tension. Poirot. Monsieur Holmes, we must reach the Nighthawk before Moriarty's men. The little grey cells demand the final letter, or the Empire falls. Mycroft nods, his pipe glowing, his mind a chessboard. Poirot's right, but the risk is vast. He hands Poirot a map, Shadwell's docks marked, the Nighthawk's berth clear. The fog outside thickens, the city's pulse racing. A sailor's shout, a dog's bark, the Black Raven's fire fading. A crash at the door. Jasper Thorne's men, their knives glinting, their orders clear. Kill the intruders, retrieve the gold. Lily screams, her hands trembling, the air sharp with fear. Poirot's cane tightens, his grey eyes scanning, his mind ablade. The door, the distance, reads fear. He signals Mycroft's agent, who fires, the bullet splintering wood, the air thick with gunpowder and panic. Jasper's men rush, knives flashing, but Poirot moves, his cane striking, swift, sending one sprawling, blood blooming. Lily crouches, her heart pounding. Reed cowers, his wounds leaking, the air thick with dust and danger. Mycroft's agent fights, his pistol cracking, the safe house a battlefield. Poirot. Mademoiselle, Monsieur Reed, to the back. Hercule Poirot leads to the Nighthawk. We end this now. They flee through a back door, the fog swallowing them, the air cold, sharp with tar and blood, the safe house's shouts fading. Mycroft's map guides them to Shadwell, the Nighthawk's shadow looming, the Thames dark, glinting, the city's pulse a roar, a pistol's crack, a shout, Moriarty's men closing in. the final letter a spark ready to ignite. The fog of Shadwell's docks wraps Hercule Poirot, Lily Wren, and Thomas Reed as they flee the safe house, the Thames black waters glinting nearby, heavy with the stench of sewage and salt. The air bites, thick with coal smoke, the faint acrid tang of the Black Raven's distant fire, and the sharp metallic scent of Reed's blood dripping from his wounds. Cobblestones, slick with rain and oil, reflect the dim flicker of a gas lamp, its light swallowed by mist, casting shadows that writhe across crumbling warehouses and rusted cranes. Poirot's boots, steady despite the chaos, click softly, his silver-topped cane a lifeline, the gold bar heavy under his coat, the cipher, fragments, Regent, Vault, Midnight Gate, Dock, safe in his pocket, guiding them to the Nighthawk where Moriarty's final letter lies. Lily's hands, raw from sewing, tremble as she grips her coat, her breath quick, clouding in the chill, her heart pounding. Reed stumbles, his face pale, his ink-stained hands shaking, guilt and fear a chain binding him. Moriarty's men pursue, their boots pounding, knives glinting, the fog hiding their intent. Lily's pulse races, her boots slipping on the stones, the air thick with the reek of fish and her own fear sharp in her nose. They're close, she thinks, the safe house's gunfire echoing in her mind, her employer's murder, Mr. Carver's throat slashed, tied to the note that dragged her into this nightmare. Poirot's calm anchors her, his small frame a shield against the city's blades, but Reed's betrayal burns, his blood a warning of her fate. The fog muffles sound, a sailor's curse, a crate's thud, a dog's bark fading in an alley. London is a beast, its docks a slaughterhouse, children scavenge, men barter blows, women sell their warmth for scraps. The Nighthawk, she tells herself, clinging to Poirot's lead, the ship a hope in this maze of death. Poirot, Mademoiselle Wren, Monsieur Reed, speed is our salvation. The Nighthawk holds Moriarty's final secret, and Hercule Poirot will seize it. The little grey cells guide us. Move. His voice, soft but unyielding, cuts through the fog's weight. The air tastes bitter, like ash and tar coating his moustache. His grey eyes scan the dock, a rope tangled in the muck, a dockworker's silhouette vanishing, a glint of steel in the mist. Moriarty's eyes, he thinks, his mind racing. The documents burned, the gold secured, but the final letter, a ciphered order to spark war, remains on the Nighthawk. The fog thickens, cold, smelling of oil and blood as they near the ship, its masts looming like skeletal fingers, the Thames lapping a grim rhythm. The city's pulse roars, a pistol's crack, a shout, the Black Raven's fire a red haze in the distance. From the omniscient mist, London's underbelly writhes. Moriarty in his Limehouse lair grips a telegram, his thin frame taut, his eyes blazing with cold rage. The heist crumbles, documents ash, gold stalled, the Black Raven lost, but the Nighthawk holds the final letter, orders to destabilize trade, ignite conflict. His agents move, his sailor guards the ship, his knife ready, a dockworker, bribed, loads crates, his hands trembling. A barmaid's body floats in the Thames, her scream silenced. The city's people, unaware, huddle in tenements, their hands calloused, their dreams small, their fears vast. Poirot's pursuit, with Lily and Reed, is a spark Moriarty must crush. He knows the detective's mind, fears its precision, and orders. Secure the Nighthawk, kill them now. The Nighthawk looms, its hull salt-stained, its lanterns dim, sailors moving crates, their faces hard, their hands quick. Poirot leads, his cane tapping, the gold bar slowing him, its weight a reminder of the stakes. Lily follows, her heart pounding, the air thick with fear, her boots scraping. Reed lags, his wounds bleeding, his voice a broken whisper. Reed. The Nighthawk. It's guarded. The Professor's men, They'll slit our throats. I didn't want this. Gold, not war. Poirot's eyes narrow, his grey cells humming. Reed's fear reveals the ship's danger. The air shifts, cold, smelling of salt and menace, as they crouch behind a crate, the fog cloaking them, the dock's chaos a shield. The sailor, Moriarty's agent, stands on the deck, his pistol glinting, his eyes scanning, his orders clear. Protect the letter, kill intruders. The air smells of tar and sweat, the Thames lapping louder, the city's cries muffled, a sailor's shout, a dog's bark, a woman's scream fading. Poirot. Mademoiselle, Monsieur, stay low. The Nighthawk holds the final piece, but Hercule Poirot will claim it. Silence now. Lily nods, her heart racing, the air thick with fear, her hands trembling. The sailor's boots thud, his pistol ready, shadows dancing on the deck. Poirot spots a gangway, its ropes frayed, leading to the ship's hold. He signals, leading them across, the fog cloaking their steps, the air cold, smelling of oil and danger. The hold is dark, crates stacked, the air stale, thick with the scent of damp wood and ink. A single lantern flickers, revealing a locked chest, small, iron-bound, the final letter's hiding place. Poirot's grey cells hum. The letter, the war, Moriarty's endgame. Lily's breath catches, the air sharp with fear, her hands trembling. It's here, she thinks, the chest a curse tied to her employer's blood. Reed slumps against a crate, his wounds bleeding, his guilt a chain. The ship creaks, the Thames lapping, the city's pulse racing. A sailor's shout, a crate's thud, a pistol's crack outside. A shadow moves. A woman, Moriarty's agent, her hair blonde, her knife glinting, her eyes cold. The air shifts, heavy with sweat and menace as she steps closer, her voice low, cutting through the hold's gloom. Anna, you're too late, detective. The professor's letter stays with me. Step back, or the girl bleeds. Lily freezes, her heart pounding, the air thick with fear, her hands trembling. Poirot's cane tightens, his grey eyes locking on Anna, his mind a chessboard. The knife, the distance, Reed's fear. He whispers to Lily, his voice calm, precise. Poirot, Mademoiselle, stay behind me. Hercule Poirot handles this pawn. He steps forward, his cane raised, his voice a trap in the dark. Poirot. Madame Holt, you guard Moriarty's war, but Hercule Poirot guards peace. Drop your knife, or the little grey cells prevail. Anna sneers, her knife flashing, lunging, but Poirot is swift, his cane striking her wrist, the blade clattering. Lily stifles a scream, the air thick with fear, her hands trembling. Reed cowers, his blood dripping, his guilt a weight. Anna swings a fist, but Poirot dodges, his small frame agile, his mind sharper than steel. He trips her with his cane, sending her sprawling, crates crashing, the air thick with dust and salt. Poirot binds her wrists with a rope, his eyes scanning the hold, sensing more danger. Poirot. Mademoiselle, Monsieur Reed, the chest is ours. We take the letter, and Moriarty's plan ends. He picks the chest's lock, its click sharp, revealing a single letter, ciphered, sealed, orders to spark war. Poirot tucks it into his coat, the air hot, smelling of ink and danger. The ship creaks, sailors shouting above, the fog muffling the city's cries, a pistol's crack, a shout, the Black Raven's fire fading. Reed panics, his voice breaking. Reed. They're coming. The professor's men. They'll kill us for that letter. The hold's door crashes open, sailors rushing in, knives glinting, their faces hard, their orders clear. Kill the intruders, secure the letter. Lily screams, her heart pounding, the air thick with fear. Poirot's cane tightens, his grey eyes scanning, his mind a blade. The sailors, the distance, the letter. He leads Lily and Reed to a ladder, the air sharp with sweat and danger, the Thames dark, glinting, the city's pulse a roar. A shout, a pistol's crack, Moriarty's men closing in, the letter a spark ready to ignite. The Nighthawk's hold pulses with danger as Hercule Poirot, Lily Wren and Thomas Reed face the rush of Moriarty's sailors, their knives glinting in the lantern's weak glow, the Thames' dark waters lapping against the ship's hull, heavy with the stench of oil and decay. The air is thick, sharp, with a tang of sweat, gunpowder, and the faint, acrid smoke drifting from the Black Raven's distant fire. The hold's floor, slick with salt and grime, creaks under Poirot's polished boots, his silver-topped cane a steady anchor, the ciphered letter, orders to spark war, tucked in his coat alongside the fragments. Regent, vault, midnight, gate, dock. Lily's hands, raw from sewing, tremble as she grips a crate, her breath quick, clouding in the chill, her heart pounding. Reed cowers, his wounds bleeding, his face pale, ink-stained hands shaking, guilt a noose tightening with each sailor's step. The fog seeps through the ship's planks, curling like a spectre, hiding the sailors' numbers, their shouts sharp in the gloom. Lily's pulse hammers, her boots slipping on the floor, the air thick with the reek of fear and tar sharp in her nose. We're trapped, she thinks. The sailors' knives a promise of her employer's fate. Mr. Carver's throat slashed for the note she found. Poirot's calm steadies her. His small frame a fortress against the city's blades, but Reed's betrayal burns, his blood a warning of her own. The fog muffles sound. A sailor's curse, a crate's thud, a dog's bark fading on the docks. London is a slaughterhouse, its ships a grave. Children scavenge, men brawl, women barter their warmth for survival. We have the letter, she tells herself, clinging to Poirot's resolve, the hold a battlefield ready to erupt. Poirot, Mademoiselle Wren, Monsieur Reed, courage is our shield, the letter is ours, and Hercule Poirot will not yield it. The little grey cells find a path, up the ladder, now. His voice, soft but unyielding, cuts through the hold's chaos. The air tastes bitter, like ash and steel, coating his moustache. His grey eyes scan the sailors. 3, their knives ready, their faces hard, their orders clear. Retrieve the letter, kill the intruders. Moriarty's pawns, he thinks, his mind racing. The letter holds war's spark, the gold secured, but the spider's web hunts them. The fog thickens, cold, smelling of salt and menace, as he leads Lily and Reed to the ladder, its rungs slick, the deck above a faint promise of escape. The city's pulse roars, a pistol's crack a shout, the Black Ravens fire a red haze in the distance. From the omniscient mist, London's underbelly writhes. Moriarty in his Limehouse lair grips a map, his thin frame taut, his eyes blazing with cold fury. The heist collapses, documents ash, gold stalled, the Black Raven lost, the Nighthawk's letter his final hope to ignite chaos. His agents move, a dockworker, bribed, guards the ship's gangway, his hands trembling. A sailor rallies men, his knife ready. A barmaid's body sinks into the Thames, her screams silenced. The city's people, unaware, huddle in tenements, their hands calloused, their dreams small, their fears vast. Poirot's pursuit with Lily and Reed is a spark Moriarty must crush. He knows the detective's mind, fears its precision, and orders. Secure the letter, kill them on the Nighthawk. The ladder creaks under Poirot's weight, his cane tucked under his arm, the gold bar slowing him, its heft a burden. Lily follows, her heart pounding, the air thick with fear, her boots slipping on the rungs. Reed lags, his wounds bleeding, his voice a broken gasp. Reed. They'll cut us down. The Professor's men, they don't miss. The letter. It's war, not gold. Poirot's eyes narrow, his grey cells humming. Reed's fear reveals the letter's weight. The air shifts, cold, smelling of tar and blood as they reach the deck. The fog thick, the Nighthawk's masts looming like ghosts. Sailors shout, their knives glinting, the gangway guarded, the docks alive with shadows. Poirot spots a lifeboat, its ropes frayed, a chance to flee. He signals, leading them across the deck, the air sharp with salt and danger, the Thames lapping louder, the city's cries muffled, a sailor's shout, a crate's thud, a pistol's crack. Poirot. Mademoiselle, monsieur, to the lifeboat. Hercule Poirot secures the letter, but we must escape the spider's claws. Lily nods, her heart racing, the air thick with fear, her hands trembling. The sailors close in, their knives flashing, their boots thudding on the deck. A fourth sailor, Moriarty's agent, emerges from the fog, his pistol raised, his face scarred, his orders clear. Stop the intruders, secure the letter. The air smells of gunpowder and sweat, the fog cloaking their numbers. Poirot's grey cells hum. The pistol, the distance, reads fear. He whispers to Lily, his voice calm, precise. Poirot. Mademoiselle, stay low. Hercule Poirot handles this pawn. He steps forward, his cane raised, his voice a trap in the dark. Poirot. Monsieur, you guard Moriarty's war, but Hercule Poirot guards peace. Drop your pistol, or the little grey cells prevail. The sailor sneers, his pistol steady, but Reed panics, lunging forward, shouting. Reed. Don't shoot. I'll give you the letter. The sailor fires, the bullet grazing Reed's leg, blood blooming, the sound sharp, echoing on the deck. Lily screams, crouching, the air thick with gunpowder and fear. Poirot moves, swift, his cane striking the sailor's wrist, the pistol clattering. The sailor curses, his scar twisting, his fist swinging, but Poirot dodges, his small frame agile, his mind sharper than steel. He trips the sailor with his cane, sending him sprawling, ropes tangling, the air thick with dust and salt. Poirot binds his wrists with the rope, his eyes scanning the deck, sensing more sailors closing in. Poirot. Mademoiselle, Monsieur Reed, to the lifeboat. Now. The letter is ours, and Hercule Poirot will not let it slip. Lily helps Reed, his leg bleeding, his face pale, his guilt a chain. They reach the lifeboat, its canvas damp, its ropes frayed, the Thames dark below, glinting with oil. Poirot lowers it, the pulleys creaking, the air sharp with fear and resolve. The sailors shout, their knives glinting, the gangway's guard rushing, his knife ready. Poirot's cane strikes, swift, sending the guard sprawling, blood blooming, the air thick with menace. The lifeboat splashes into the Thames, the fog swallowing them, the Nighthawk's shouts fading, the city's pulse racing. A sailor's curse, a pistol's crack, the black ravens fire a red haze. From above, Moriarty's web tightens. His men, alerted by the lifeboat's splash, rush to the Nighthawk's rail, pistols firing, bullets slicing the fog, the Thames rippling. Moriarty in his lair slams a fist, his eyes cold, his plan fraying, the letter lost, the heist in ashes, Poirot's mind a blade cutting his web. His agents scramble, the dockworker flees, his bribe worthless, a sailor rallies men, his knife ready, the barmaid's body floats, her life extinguished. The city's people, unaware, lock their doors, their hands rough, their fears vast as the heist collapses. The lifeboat drifts, the Thames current pulling, the air cold, thick with mud and danger. Poirot rose, his hand steady, the gold bar heavy, the letter safe in his coat. Lily trembles, her hands raw, the fog pressing, her heart pounding. Reed groans, his wounds bleeding, his voice a whisper. Reed, the professor, he'll find us. The letter, it's war, it's everything. Poirot's grey cells hum, his mind sorting. The letter, the war, Mycroft's aid. The air shifts, cold, smelling of oil and blood as they near a pier, its wood rotting, a gas lamp flickering, the fog cloaking their landing. The city's pulse roars. A shout, a pistol's crack, the Nighthawk's sailors searching. Poirot helps Lily and Reed ashore, the pier creaking, the air sharp with salt and menace, the letter a spark ready to ignite, Moriarty's men a shadow in the fog, poised to strike. The fog of London's Shadwell Pier clings like a shroud as Hercule Poirot, Lily Wren, and Thomas Reed stumble ashore, the Thames black waters lapping below, heavy with the stench of mud and oil. The air bites, thick with coal smoke, the faint tang of the Black Raven's dying fire and the sharp metallic scent of Reed's blood seeping from his wounds. The pier's rotting planks creak under Poirot's polished boots, his silver-topped cane a steady pulse. The ciphered letter, orders to spark war tucked in his coat with the fragments. Regent, Vault, Midnight Gate, Dock. The gold bar, heavy under his arm, anchors their escape. Lily's hands, raw from sewing, tremble as she grips her coat, her breath quick, clouding in the chill, her heart pounding. Reed limps, his face pale, ink-stained hands shaking, guilt a chain binding him to Moriarty's web. The fog hides eyes, but Moriarty's men pursue, their boots echoing, pistols cracking. The Nighthawk's shouts a grim chorus in the mist. Lily's pulse races, her boots slipping on the slick wood, the air thick with the reek of fish and her own fear sharp in her nose. We're not safe, she thinks. The letter a curse tied to her employer's murder. Mr. Carver's throat slashed for the note she found. Poirot's calm steadies her, his small frame a fortress against the city's blades. But Reed's betrayal burns, his blood a warning of her fate. The fog muffles sound, a sailor's curse, a crate's thud, a woman's scream fading in an alley. London is a beast, its docks a graveyard. Children scavenge, men brawl, women barter their warmth for survival. We have the letter, she tells herself, clinging to Poirot's resolve. The pier, a fragile bridge to salvation. Poirot. Mademoiselle Wren, Monsieur Reed. Haste is our ally. The letter is ours, and Hercule Poirot will deliver it to Mycroft. The little grey cells end this game. Move. His voice, soft but unyielding, pierces the fog's weight. The air tastes bitter, like ash and salt coating his moustache. His grey eyes scan the pier, a barrel splintered, a rope tangled, a glint of steel in the mist. Moriarty's eyes, he thinks, his mind racing. The letter holds war's spark, the gold secured, the heist in ashes, but the spider's agents hunt them. The fog thickens, cold, smelling of tar and menace, as they reach the pier's end, a narrow street leading to Mycroft's final safe house in Wapping. The city's pulse roars, a pistol's crack, a shout, the Nighthawk's lanterns fading in the distance. From the omniscient mist, London's underbelly writhes. Moriarty in his Limehouse lair stares at a shattered clock, his thin frame taut, his eyes blazing with cold defeat. The heist is dust, documents burned, gold lost, the Black Raven ash, the Nighthawk's letter stolen. His agents falter, a sailor flees, his knife dropped, a dockworker, bribed, hides, his hands trembling. A barmaid's body floats in the Thames, her screams silenced. The city's people, unaware, huddle in tenements, their hands calloused, their dreams small, their fears vast. Poirot's triumph, with Lillian Reed, is a blade in Moriarty's web. He knows the detective's mind, dreads its precision, and orders a final strike. Find them in Wapping, kill them, burn the letter. The street twists, its cobblestones slick, warehouses looming, their windows black, leaking whispers of decay. Poirot leads, his cane tapping, the gold bar slowing him, the letter burning in his coat. Lily follows, her heart pounding, the air thick with fear, her boots scraping. Reed lags, his wounds bleeding, his voice a broken gasp. Reed, they're behind us. The Professor's men, they'll never stop. The letter, it's war, it's everything. Poirot's eyes narrow, his grey cells humming. Reed's fear signals danger. The air shifts, cold, smelling of mud and blood as they reach the safe house, a grim building, its door reinforced, a gas lamp flickering above. Poirot knocks, the sound sharp. the fog muffling the city's cries, a sailor's shout, a dog's bark, a pistol's crack nearby. The door opens, Mycroft's agent, broad, cloaked, ushering them inside, the air warm, thick with the scent of leather and ink, a fire crackling in a grate. Mycroft stands, his pipe smoke curling, his eyes sharp, assessing Poirot, Lily, the bleeding reed. The air smells of ash and resolve. The city's pulse faint. A shout, a crate's thud, the Thames' lapping. Mycroft's voice, low, resonant, carries the Empire's weight. Mycroft. Mr. Poirot, you've defied the odds. The letter. Show me. Or Moriarty's shadow lingers. Poirot produces the letter, its ciphered script stark, the fragments beside it. Regent, vault, midnight, gate, dock. A map to Moriarty's ruin. He sets the gold bar on a table, its glint heavy. Mycroft's eyes narrow, his mind racing. The letter orders war, the heist is dust, but Moriarty's reach lingers. The air shifts, warm, smelling of ink and tension. Poirot. Monsieur Holmes. The letter is war's spark, but Moriarty's men are near. The little grey cells have cut his web, but the spider may strike. What now? Mycroft exhales, smoke curling, his voice cold, measured. Mycroft. The letter will be decoded. The order's stopped. Moriarty's network is exposed. Whitehall, the docks, his pawns. You've done the Empire a service, Poirot, but he'll hunt you still. Lily's breath catches, her hands trembling, the air thick with fear. It's not over, she thinks, her heart pounding, the notes curse a shadow. Reed slumps, his wounds bleeding, his guilt a chain. The fog outside presses, muffling the city's cries. A pistol's crack, a shout, boots pounding closer. A crash at the door. Moriarty's final agent, a man named Gideon Black, his pistol raised, his face scarred, his orders clear. Burn the letter, kill them all. Gideon bursts in, his pistol firing, the bullets splintering wood, the air thick with gunpowder and panic. Lily screams, crouching, her hands trembling. Poirot's cane tightens, his grey eyes scanning, his mind a blade. The pistol, the distance, Reed's fear. Mycroft's agent tackles Gideon, their struggle fierce, fists flying, blood blooming. Poirot moves, swift, his cane striking Gideon's wrist, the pistol clattering. Gideon curses, his scar twisting, his knife flashing, but Poirot dodges, his small frame agile, his mind sharper than steel. He trips Gideon with his cane, sending him sprawling, the air thick with dust and blood. Mycroft's agent binds Gideon's wrists, the safe house a battlefield, the letter safe. Poirot. Mademoiselle, Monsieur Reed. The spider's fangs are broken. Hercule Poirot delivers justice, and the Empire breathes. Lily trembles, her heart pounding, the air sharp with fear and relief. Reed groans, his wounds grave, his voice a whisper. Reed. I'm sorry. The Professor. I didn't know. He slumps, his breath fading, guilt his final burden. Mycroft nods, his pipe glowing, his mind a chessboard. Moriarty's web is cut, but the spider lives. The air shifts, warm, smelling of ash and resolve. The city's pulse slowing, a shout, a dog's bark, the Thames lapping. From above, London stirs. Moriarty in his lair flees, his web in tatters, his name a whisper in the fog. His agents scatter. A sailor hides, a dock worker confesses, a barmaid's body is found, her story untold. The city's people, unaware, lock their doors, their hands rough, their fears vast, but the war's spark is doused. Poirot's triumph, with Lily's courage, saves the Empire. Mycroft arranges Reed's care, his wounds tended, his betrayal noted. Lily, free of the note's curse, finds safety. Her hands raw, but her heart lighter. Poirot adjusts his moustache, his grey cells at rest. The fog lifting as dawn nears, the Thames glinting, the city's pulse a soft hum. A vendor's call, a horse's whinny, a new day. The letter decoded ends Moriarty's plan, his shadow fading, but Poirot knows the spider will spin again. And so the tale fades into silence, dear listener. Share with us your thoughts, your city, your hour. Are you wrapped in Tokyo's neon mist, Paris's quiet midnight, or Toronto's snowy dusk? If these echoes linger, follow them into the dark. Let your candle burn low. Sleep soundly until we meet again.